Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Now, with the arrival of His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II Asantehene, we are reflecting on the long relationship between TNT and Ghana and how the King's visit can strengthen ties between the two countries. And so joining us this morning to talk more about it, we have the High Commissioner for Ghana to TNT, His Excellency Samuel Yao Nsia, and we also have the Honorary Consul of Ghana to TNT, Mr. Gabriel Woodham. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Ambassador, I'm going to start with you first. We mentioned we're seeing the King coming to visit us and that long-standing relationship between TNT and Ghana. Tell us how, we can strengthen those ties.
Thank you very much for inviting us. I mean, Ghana and TNT has long-standing relationship because of slavery and after slavery, when George Patmore and others entered the relationship. That actually helped to strengthen the two countries. Nkrumah, our first president, and Patmore, and the rest. After that, we have had recently some high-level visits. Our presidents, about 2 or 3 presidents, have visited Trinidad and Tobago. You have had your Prime Minister visiting Ghana twice. At least these 2 visits from both countries have actually helped to strengthen the relationship between our countries. Besides that, there are other activities that are going on behind the scenes to actually boost the relationship between the two countries.
Now, in addition to that relationship, how can we boost the economic growth? I mean, do you see Ghana playing a role in TNT as we continue to grow economically, especially coming out of the pandemic?
Yes, because we have the resources. So TNT can tap into it. And we have the population, we have the market, and then we have the oil. Now the TNT national gas has entered into the Ghana market. It's an opportunity for TNT to develop out of the abundant resources of our country.
Mr. Woodham, I'm coming to you because I want you to continue on the commissioner's path, but not just energy. Let's look at also sport and culture. How do you see us, using Ghana's resources or even partnering with them to promote those particular sectors?
It's not only, when it comes to that, to sports and culture, it's the resources of both countries, actually. Ghana is heavy in football, and Trinidad is also heavy in cricket. So we can exchange those, those areas. Ghana helping with football, and Trinidad helping us with cricket. There's some cricket in Ghana, but I'd like to see more of it.
Helping how in terms of bringing team members across to train?
Exchanges, team members across. Whenever we talk about cricket and sports in general, for example, I don't see the performances of African teams in television in Trinidad. When there are really big performances going on, I don't see as much of it. We're always looking towards Europe. But Africa has a talent, and I think they can help Trinidad and Tobago,
And we can help them as well.
And we can help them with cricket.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Ambassador, I'm coming back to you. I want us to go a bit to the visit of the Asantehene. I mean, we were talking off air about the significance of that and the privilege we have as Trinbagonian nationals to actually see the Asantehene, of course, and his retinue. Let's speak a little bit about that, the significance of his visit.
Right. It's important for us here in the Caribbean because it will help to strengthen the relationship between our countries. I mean, there is an initiative about sister relationship between Port of Spain and Kumasi that is also going to be on the board. And I think it's also important that he's physically present here because even back home in Ghana, it's difficult to see Otumfuo. So here, being with us, at least it's an opportunity for us to see him physically. Those who can greet him can greet him. So it is important. it will help to actually bring the two countries together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emphasis has been placed on emancipation for us because it sort of brings us back to our African culture and legacy. Is there a similar type of celebration that happens in Ghana, even if it's not at this time?
Yes. In fact, initially we started the Pan-African Festival. And then in 2019, we celebrated a year of return, asking our African brothers and sisters in the diaspora to come back home. And then the Caribbean, you have been celebrating Emancipation. Even today, we have adopted Emancipation Day, and it is going on in Ghana. We will have health walk, Emancipation health walk in some coastal cities, laying of reef in other parts of the country where actually slavery actually took place. So, yes, we are also celebrating it as we are celebrating it now. Yeah.
Mr. Woodham, I'm coming back to you because I want us to go a bit deeper with the energy sector, only because can you share in terms of successes and challenges that both countries can learn from each other? Some of the things that actually worked and some of the challenges we had that we learned from.
I don't see many failures. Most of it has been a success story.
Tell us.
Trinidad has been in the oil and gas business for over 100 years. That has to be a success story.
Yeah.
We are young and we can benefit from Trinidad. NGC has already done a project there in the face of challenges during the COVID period, where they were able to, tap, their resources. And we're able to complete, the tax credit distribution system for gas. So, but there's more work to be done, So Trinidad and Tobago teach us, what we need to know. But I would say that there's been mostly success. I can't see any failures,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Ambassador?
And to add to that, it has helped TNT to export expertise and to even earn income, revenue from Ghana.
Yeah.
And by the time they complete this project, definitely Ghana will also be able to tap into the skills that they have. And being the first country or international assignment for the oil and gas industry in the country, I think it will boost their potential and opportunities for better opportunities in the years ahead in other countries.
Yeah. Now, we have the Asantehene who visits us, right? And he's going to be part of our Emancipation celebration. But what would have led to that, or part of him visiting, was our Prime Minister visiting Ghana. I believe it was in 2020. Right. Tell us the significance of that visit and what that visit did, not just for us, but for the people of Ghana.
Right. I mean, he visited Ghana, as you've rightly said. There was an agreement signed. Based on these agreements, definitely that is where we were able to actually come together to cooperate in the energy sector. That actually helped TNT to win that contract in Takoradi. And besides that, he also visited Otumfuo, and he invited Otumfuo, and now Otumfuo is here with us. So these are some of the benefits that Ghana achieved from it. I mean, there were cooperations signed, and then it is going on gradually, training of our young and upcoming youth in the oil and gas industry, cooperation in the cocoa sector, cooperation in the research at the universities, etc. So these are some of the benefits I think we are receiving from the visit of the Prime Minister.
Was Ambassador, and even before the Prime Minister's visit, we had other Trinidadians who were involved with Ghana, whether it's helping them with their independence. For example, Ulrich Cross, we had George Patmore as well. Tell us the significance of these Trini gentlemen going across another continent to help this African country.
Right. I will ask my consul general to start first, and then I will add it.
Yes,
something to it.
We know of Ulrich, and we know of George Patmore. These are the two stalwarts. But there are very many unsung heroes who went over to Ghana at the beginning of their nationhood after 1957 to help the country. So there were teachers, doctors, there were some lawyers, and they just, I guess they felt the pride, in seeing a black African country become independent. And Ghana was the first, black African country to become independent. And so they felt the need that we need to go and help, our brothers and sisters to develop. When I was in school, I had West Indian teachers, Caribbean teachers, not from Trinidad, but from Jamaica and Guyana, and that was a while ago. And I'd like to thank them all, really, for that effort that they made. Some of them remain behind, and some of them are still there. So,
Ambassador.
Yes, and the relationship between Patmore and the Cross actually started around 1945. I mean, it was strong. They were men with great thought and action. I mean, Nkrumah said, now and not the future. And then their writings actually influenced the liberation struggle in Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, Patmore actually influenced Nkrumah, supported Nkrumah to gain independence. And then, even when we got independence, Patmore became an advisor to Nkrumah. And then Ghana became the focal point of the liberation struggle in Africa. And we trained and supported liberation factors across Africa. So this is the work of Patmore and Nkrumah coming together. Their writings actually continue to even influence us today. So they've great men. When Patmore died, Nkrumah said he's one of the greatest architects of liberation movement in Africa, and it is true. We thank Patmore for what he did for Africa, for what he did for Ghana.
Ambassador, before you go, any closing thoughts, any words you want to tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago as we celebrate Emancipation Day?
I mean, we thank Trinidadians for the courtesies accorded to the Otumfuo when he arrived in the country. We invite all of them to see Otumfuo in state on Tuesday. Is it tomorrow?
It is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
Yes.
Otumfuo is coming to work with you, and we hope that you all come in your numbers to see the rich culture of Ghana and Ashanti in particular. And then we hope that henceforth the relationship between Ghana and Trinidad will continue to flourish and be strengthened enough for the benefit of our people.
Mr. Woodham, I have to hear from you. I mean, Ghanaian born, Trini living.
Yes.
I mean, what an exchange.
Well, yes. There is a lot of creativity on both sides of the pond.
Yeah.
And if we can only tap into it and share it, Trinidad has a lot of creativity. That's what I discovered right from the beginning. Very, very creative. And on our side, it's the same thing. So let's pull it together. Let's teach each other how to move forward from there, and how to even make it much better. Yeah. I'm in the creativity business, so that's why you hear me.
That should say
about
something. Well, Ambassador and Seer, Mr. Woodham, let me thank you so much for joining us this morning. I hope that you head across to the Emancipation Village tomorrow and see the amazing thing, of course, to greet the Asantehene as well. So thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
And of course, that was the High Commissioner for Ghana to Trinidad and Tobago. We have His Excellency Samuel Yao and Seer, and we also have the Honorary Consul of Ghana to TNT, Mr. Gabriel Woodham, just sharing about those strong ties, those long-lasting ties between TNT and Ghana. You're on the Now Morning Show. We're going to take a break and be right back. Stay with us.